Greetings to all and welcome to TESOL International Association's U.S. Federal Legislation and Policy Update, end of year 2023, end of year wrap up for all that has happened here in the United States at the federal level, impacting English language teaching and multilingual learners of English. My name is Jeff Hutchison. I am the Director of Advocacy and Public Policy at TESOL International Association, and I've had the honor and pleasure of serving and working with all of you over the course of this year, and thank you all for your efforts. This presentation today will just give a highlight of what we have looked at over the past year with a sneak peek into 2024. As we go through the next few minutes, we'll do a recap of the advocacy priorities for the year, as well as continual and deep dive look at appropriations, that which continues into 2024. We'll talk about that more in just a moment, as well as some of the highlights. This is where I get the opportunity to thank you for all of your work and what you have done in engaging with your representatives, legislators, to support the profession and support the learners, support your schools, and support communities. And then lastly, we'll take a quick sneak peek at 2024 and see what lies ahead for us. So jumping right in, just very quickly, a recap of the legislative priorities for 2023 that we have had the honor of supporting and advancing throughout the year. Now, all of these that I will mention here, you can read more about by going to our Advocacy Action Center. You'll see that there at the bottom, the link, www.tesol.org/advocacy/advocacy-action-center. Here you'll get to see bills that you've probably seen before. You may remember retired now Representative Langevin of Rhode Island has put forth several bills over the course of his tenure in support of English language learners, and we're happy to report that Representative Grijalva out of Arizona has picked up that mantle to carry them forward. You'll see those three at the top: the Fluent Act, the Reaching English Learners Act, and the Syllable Act. I just want to highlight of those the Fluent Act, because this is one that provides monies to help support the families of English learners within our public education system, providing small grants for community-based organizations, providing literacy for the families there. So all of these, though, in and of their own right, are there in support and help, and can move forward just the overall edification of what we are doing each and every day for our learners and community. So I invite you to take a closer look at those and voice your support as well. For adult education, two bills very active right now: the Strengthening Research in Adult Education Act and the Adult Education Works Act, the latter of which is both in the Senate and in the House. So we're very happy to be with supporters of that, lifting up adult education, adult literacy for all, including our English learners. And then the last three provide support and begin to address in a fair and comprehensive way some of the immigration challenges that we currently have in the United States. You will see the one at the bottom, the DREAM Act, or the two at the bottom, DREAM Act and the American Dream Promise Act, help provide a legislative solution to continue on the intent of DACA, which was an executive order back in 2012, excuse me. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. That has been challenged and found illegal, but still that leaves many individuals who came as minors, undocumented, in limbo. If we can provide a legislative solution so that we can provide a pathway for them, this will go far in that. We cannot continue to rely on executive orders. And the Dignity Act, I just want to highlight that. There have been some attempts at some fair and comprehensive immigration reform, and this is one of them that helps provide and address the backlog of the asylum process right now, as well as addressing some issues on our workforce, addressing issues of those that are present without inspection or otherwise not in a lawful status right now, and how we can help them in that process, and then provide the safety nets during that. Some of the solutions out there are not solutions at all, and have just provided or created situations that are not supportive for those that have found the U.S. to be their new home. So I invite you to take a look at the Dignity Act for more information there and support that as you see fit. Not just the Dignity Act, but any and all of these. Please take a look at them. See the others that we have listed there and voice your support today. And I will say, some people have asked, oh, I've already voiced my support. Voice it again. Continue to put your voice forward. Be an advocate, and be in front of your representative, be in front of your senator. Let them know the importance of the profession. Let them know the importance of supporting learners all over. Now, the big issue here that continues from 2023 into 2024 is appropriations, and specifically funding for the Elementary Secondary Education Act, as well as funding in the Higher Education Act. The current situation for the budget is that we are under limits because of the Fiscal Responsibility Act that was passed back in May. And you can see right now that the House is defunding English language acquisition, defunding low-income communities, defunding the Department of Education for the Office of Civil Rights, as well as the Higher Education Act, which brings teacher quality partnership programs to help support the teacher shortages and provide a pipeline for that. The Senate, under the limits that we have, has been done well, not just keeping level funding, but in some cases, as you can see on the right column, providing some nominal increases. This continues to be a priority for us, and you will see more information as we go into the new year, into 2024, especially at the end of January and February. The continuing resolution that was passed at the end of September, and then the one that was passed in the middle of November, has pushed the budget discussions for appropriations for labor, health, human services, and education to February 2nd. So you'll see a lot more from us as we near that date, what you can do to voice your support and ensure that that the fiscal year 2024 budget resembles what you see on the right-hand column and not what you see on the left-hand column. I want to make sure that continues to be funded. So I want to take time out just for in the midst of that, in that challenge, just to say thank you to all of you that have voiced your support throughout the year. Some of the highlights that we've looked at from TESOLers and their advocacy efforts. We had over 50 attendees at the Advocacy Summit, taking your voice directly to your representatives, knocking on the doors, walking the halls, having over 100 visits through that process. So thank you to all that were taking part in that, as well as those that engaged through our Advocacy Action Center. You'll see that we had over 3,000 or almost 3,000 active advocates all across our subscribers, and we thank you for that. We hope that that continues and continues to improve. And this is not exclusive to members, so if you'd like to invite just your fellow colleagues, say, hey, take them over to the Voter Voice, the Action Center, let them subscribe. We'd love to get them on the list and have more advocates built into that. A big one, though, I would like to just point out here, the Spell Act. I didn't have that listed as one of our priorities, but that is indeed one. It provided student loan relief for ELT educators. This is because of your efforts, direct efforts. It looks like this will also be a bill that will be introduced, a companion bill introduced in the Senate early in the spring. I'll look for more information for that as we go forward. So just want to thank you. That's just some of the highlights that we've had over the course of 2023, all because of your efforts. So again, a huge thank you. Finally, just a sneak peek as we look forward into 2024. I won't rehash what I just talked about for appropriations, but do be on the lookout, because we will be having more information there about what you can do in support of fiscal year 24. But also in the midst of that, we'll be engaging with fiscal year 25. The president should be putting out fiscal year 25 budget numbers probably the end of February, 1st of March. As you may or may not know, the U.S. federal government's budget cycle ends September 30th and starts October 1. So that's a process that begins in the spring and continues, and sometimes even continues into the next fiscal year, as we've seen here. Another highlight, WIOA, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, looks like I'll use that phrase, may be reauthorized. It is moving in the House and is something that is a highlight here. We hope that there will be movement in the Senate as we go forward. Hopefully we can get that accomplished in the 118th. And I do want to highlight the last two here, just to be on the lookout. This is an election year, 2024. A lot of the representatives and senators will be up for, well, a lot of the seats will be up for either re-election or election, as the case may be. There's been a lot of turnover. And there's also the executive order. There will be a presidential election this year as well. And then how can you engage through the year? Well, we're going to revamp how we're doing the summit, hopefully to provide more access for you. We're providing a virtual advocacy day. Hope to get our numbers up there. And then a in-person advocacy day you'll see later in July in the summer. So look for the opportunity to come into Washington, D.C. in the heat of July and meet with your representative, meet with your senator, and elevate the voice of the profession, elevate the voice of learners in that. And then lastly, as we come to our conference, our convention that will be in March in Tampa, Florida, this coming year, we will be inviting you to take action and support and elevate voices during that time as well. So be on the lookout for that. We'll put that out there, not just for attendees at the conference, but also everyone that is involved in our grassroots campaigning. So looking forward to that, looking forward to a very active 2024. And so with that, just want to like to say a wonderful, happy holiday season to everyone. And thank you again for all of your efforts. If there's anything that we can do for you, or if you just have a question that you would like to run across, you have my contact information there. Please feel free to reach out and enjoy the holiday and be energized and be ready. 2024 is coming soon and we have a lot to do. And with that, I say goodbye to all.